Hi! What's going on at the Old Town Hall?
Gosh, it's the Saga First Art Show.
Susan Corman. I recently moved to Taylor Road in Stow and started to discover that there were quite a few very talented artists right on Taylor Road, which I thought was an interesting story. And I gathered them together. Well, I think prior to that, I had decided, why don't we get some presents for the artists in Stow? Because Harvard has it and Maynard has it, but we don't have anything in Stow. So I started gathering local artists, and I put a thing out next door. And we currently have 13 members, and it's growing all the time, which is really exciting. And this is our first group show. My pottery is a combination of wheel thrown, these kinds of things, and hand built, which are scattered around. And I kind of like to explore color combinations and what they do in the kiln. Like, you never kind of know where the colors are going to break or how they're going to interact. And I also like playing with textures. Some of the mugs you can see I carved, some of the vases have patterns in them. Everything is functional, and everything is dishwasher and microwave safe.
Do you have a studio on Taylor Road yourself?
I have a wheel in my house, which was my greatest gift to myself during COVID.
Oh, a good way to get
It was great. It was great. And then I work at the Umbrella in Concord. It's kind of a fun story. When my mother passed away, she wanted me to have her chandelier. And a chandelier really doesn't work in my Stow house.
No.
So I took it apart. And I said, what a cool knob. And then I started getting into this whole knob thing and going to flea markets and finding different objects that make fun knobs. And no two will be the same. So that's my new direction for a while. And
Very nice.
They're just fun.
My name is Brenda Serrano. I live here in Stow on Taylor Road.
And I understand there's some other artists here who live on Taylor Road.
Yes, there are. There's Susan Chorman and Coda Schwarz, Richard Fishman, and Donna Lisa, who is not here at the moment. But yes, all on Taylor Road.
And can you tell us a little bit about your work?
Sure. I use paint. I'm a painter, but I also build on the surface. And I've just recently gotten into drying my own flowers and resining them and adding those. So, some of the pieces are really just loaded with color and texture, and there's some flowers in there. And then others are more sparse. I've always been a painter, and then I've started adding things. So, yeah, these are actually paint scraps from my palette that I collect.
How did the Stow Artists Guild find you, or how did you find it?
Well, Susan Chorman is the one who got it off the ground, and she contacted me, asked me if I was interested in having a little get-together at her house. So she invited some artists, and I went. And so she's really the one who got this whole thing going.
Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes, my name's Shirley Beals. I live here in Stow, Massachusetts.
And can you tell us about your work here?
Okay, well, this work is all done in pastel. It's a medium that's dry, and you mix the color on the paper. So it's unique in that aspect. It's challenging and very fun. I get my inspiration from everywhere. As you can see, it's kind of a potpourri of subject matter, and I love to try new things. I got into looking at flowers one section, then I went into reflections, like the pots and pans and the reflections on the bottles, and I do landscapes too. Although I didn't bring many landscapes, I do quite a few landscapes, and it's just a wonderful aspect of my life.
How long have you been making art in Stow?
Well, we moved to Stowe 7 years ago, but I have been painting for about 10 years.
Right.
After I retired.
Are you happy to find the guild to connect with
Oh,
other artists?
this is an amazing group of people who are dedicated to art and promoting actually promoting the use of this Stowe Town Hall, because it's such a wonderful place, and it's perfect for this event, and I can see how it would be perfect for many other events.
Thank you very much.
I'm Coda Schwarz. I'm a potter in Stow. And one of my neighbors, actually, Susan Corman, she's over there. She's also a potter. She was thinking, hey, we have all these artists. Multiple neighbors are artists. And she was saying, hey, let's get together and create a group, because everybody has open studios. Harvard does, Bolton, Acton, Maynard, except for Stow. So Susan's really the one that initiated this, and I just tagged along, and the next thing you know, we have an open studio. That's really how it started, and word of mouth, and she put something in the paper. Yeah, she put something in the Stow paper last year before Christmas, and that's how people found us.
Excellent. And are you making art in Stow yourself at your home studio?
I have a studio in my basement, and I don't have a kiln. I go to the community center, the community studio in Concord to fire my work and to glaze the work. Yeah.
And how do you see this building in the future connecting to the Artist Guild?
I mean, this is a perfect space. And, hopefully we will grow and there will be more people. I think it could definitely, we could accommodate more artists. I think it's the perfect space. It's central. It's a beautiful building. I mean, it could probably use some renovations, but it's a beautiful building. It's a great use. We were thinking. So yes.
Well, this is exciting to hear the potential for this building and for this guild, and I'm going to bet that it's going to grow from. It's already
yes
about 13.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, and we have more interest. So it's kind of amazing. It was a little scary, but we pulled it off, and we're happy people are coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ami Ledwell. I live in Maynard, Massachusetts, and I am of Wampanoag, Mashpee Wampanoag heritage, and so most of my artwork is influenced by Native justice issues. So you'll notice that there are a lot of phrases, things like "every child matters," or about missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, about Two-Spirit people, all kinds of different subjects. And a lot of it is intended to be inclusive and intersectional with world issues. So I wear my heart on my sleeve, so to speak. Here's my
Got it.
Indigenous rights or human rights. And I invite other people to also wear my heart on their sleeves because I feel like it's really important to talk about these issues. So that's what I do. Okay. So these are all upcycled clothes. Right. And I do paint, I hand paint on the backs of them. This one's one of my favorites. I'll pull it out so you can see. It says decolonize on the back, and then on the front, you can see it has some matches there burning everything down. And first light, so Wampanoag means people of the first light. So this is a little reference to my tribe, first light matches. And I love this one in particular because the inside of it is this great turquoise color as well. And these are all upcycled, thrifted clothes that have been washed and cleaned and then painted. I also do shoes and all kinds of little pouches. I also do beadwork. This little doll is wearing Eastern woodland clothes. And then I collect donations for the United Native American Cultural Council, which is in Devens. We do a lot of Native cultural events, including a powwow every year. And so the fundraising goes to a really good cause.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your work.
You are very welcome. Katapatush for coming to visit.
Hi, I'm Anna Cestria Carr. I'm a resident of Stow and a filmmaker and artist.
And can you tell us about your latest work or the work you have here?
I have examples of several work that I do. This is part of a giant scale labyrinth that I created called the Every Child Matters Labyrinth. That is in response to the unmarked graves that were found at residential schools. And so I have created a depiction to represent the different areas the children were from. A lot of my work currently is based on my Indigenous background of Métis, Cree, and Anishinaabe heritage, and I work doing form line and medicine painting, as well as using Métis beadwork as inspiration.
And this continues over here too?
Yep, and I also make inuksuks for the outside gardens, and inuksuks are from northern Canada, where you're in the tundra, and if you get lost, there are these huge, large-scale inuksuks that look like men in the distance, and so if you're out there, you can see where your village is or where to go. And as someone that is terrible at directions and growing up there, I always love these because they help you find your way. So, So I also make dream catchers. So dream catchers were created. It was from a legend in the Anishinaabe people that children weren't able to sleep because of nightmares, and so I believe it was Grandmother Spider weaved this dream catcher to ensnare the nightmares, and then they used the beads and the feathers to leave good dreams passing through. And so you're supposed to hang it up near a window, so when the sunlight comes, the nightmares that are hidden or held in the dream catcher kind of disperse during the day. So it keeps you safe.
My name's Courtney Preta, and I am an artist living in Stow. We started up earlier this year to find more ways to get our work viewed in the public locally, and to have opportunities for sales. We also, there are a number of members that make charitable donations to various causes that they find important. And so we're not just for self-gain, as it were.
Got it. And can you tell us the connection to this building and if there's any future connection between the Guild and this building?
Oh, well, in my mind, I am hoping this building could become a center for the arts, and I would see a way for the Guild and other groups to have series of events here, whether they're teaching events or just playing with stuff events, or musical events, or spoken word events, or dance events, or any other artistic or non-artistic gatherings that people would like to envision in this lovely space. I think it's a marvelous community space. So I work with wood, I paint, and I draw, and I do a little sculpting. So there's some examples of those things here. Sometimes I work with wood and then paint on it because I can. And so I also have been making some prints and collage with the prints. And so I just like to play with art materials and see what happens. So some of the pieces are the cutout pieces. I started by thinking I was going to have Victorian trim on my house. And as I designed pieces, I love animals, and animals just kept creeping into the designs. And so I started making little friezes of some. So the dogs would be an example, and I have others that I didn't bring that are longer. And then I just started having fun playing with cutting out wood and painting. In some cases, large pieces like the llama, push me, pull you.
Are you excited about the connections you're making with local artists in Stow?
Very excited. I'm just having a blast. Yeah.